Hello there. Anyone that sort of knows me really will know my main passion sort of is about targeting sort of particular fish, and most of them pretty much in pressured waters because it's just the day and age of carp fishing these days. For one thing you've got to be really careful about is your choice of line. In more recent years, my favourite choice of line's GTHD. You know, it seems to do everything that I like out of a line. Always very wary of the new in lines, but this one's sort of come up with the goods for me. It's not let me down at all. As usual with me, I always go for the strongest that I can get away with, casting the distances I want to as well. You tend to favour the 18. It's 0.39, I think, so it's quite thick. But yeah, I'd say edges with lines really. Not really a massive fluorocarbon user because it tends to restrict myself with casting distances or something. It's got its plus sides, like it sinks well and that, but I believe that with a little bit of care taken when you cast out, that you can make a mono like GTHD behaving exactly the same way. Generally when you see people cast a rod out, they cast it out, bung the tip under the surface, whether it's flat, calm or windy or whatever. Sometimes you have to sink the line, and then you see the two ends of the line meet in the middle, it's below the surface, rod goes in the rest, bobbing on. Happy days. Like, for me, if I can, I'd rather sink the line with my rod tip up at 45 degrees. Once I felt the drop, like, get the rod up at 45 degrees and then watch the line coming back. Actually, I don't want this end of the line to sink until last, so basically it tracks all the way back. By doing that, you can actually steer your line round bits of weed or whatever, you know, or just get it in a straight line. And as it's doing that, it's laying along the bottom coming back towards you. The last bit of line sinks a couple of rod lengths out from the margins really, and you can even, if you really want to fish it slack down, you can almost pull a few sort of couple of yards off and let that sort of sink down, and then it all eventually disappears. Oh, just a couple of line bleeps there. But basically that's a way of getting your line down on the bottom. Sometimes with crosswinds it's hard to do that because your line's blowing to the side, so you're forced to put the rod underwater and hold it a bit tight. But when there's wind on the water, the ripple tends to like help your line sink quicker anyway through it. One tip I've been using it for years, and it's nothing I've invented myself. It's an old match angler's trick. It's washing up liquid, just a little drip of that in a squeezy bottle, just shake it up, squirt it on your spools before you cast out. Its two main advantages are, one, it's like it'll put yards on your cast because it obviously lubricates your line, makes it slippery. Like, say, you know, you can belt a lead out miles with it. I use it to gain like distance. One thing you've got to be careful with that is if you're doing it into the wind, you get spray off it, it can burn your eyes, so make sure you've got a pair of sunglasses on or whatever, so, and don't breathe it in, you'll be blowing bubbles. But yeah, the other advantage, like second advantage, is, I don't know if you've ever filled a frying pan that you've wiped out, you always get like a film on it, like on the surface tension of the oil that floats. If you put one drip of washing up liquid, you'll see that disperse. Like, washing up liquid on your line will have the same effect on the surface tension of a lake. And if you're near a road like we are here, wind's blowing that way, not so much this time of year, it's been a bit damp this morning, but in the summer and that you'll get a bit of dust, or in May you get that fluff and that on the surface. It basically, you know, once you've cast out, once the line lays on it, you can actually physically see it part away, so your line will cut through the surface tension. It's a good way of getting your line down quick, especially with a crosswind, save you losing your line lay like that. So for something that's quite a cheap thing, like, you know, just literally a little drip in a bottle, you know, fill it up at the lake, out of the lake, you know. So lake water, it still does squirt on your spools. It's just brilliant little edge that. I mean, again, like I said earlier, most of the fish I like to fish for are in pressured waters. You're putting rods out for a long time. I mean, them rods there, they've been out 24 hours now, they might be out another 24. So you're basically setting a trap, so you want everything to be bang on, and just a few minutes spent getting your line laid right could catch you that fish of your dreams. So, you know, just take a little bit more care rather than splash, drop, boom, in the rest. That'll do, won't do. Right, hope that helps.